Okay, in the last class, we were discussing about the homeostasis, how the living creatures, particularly the animals, regulate their body temperature or body fluid concentration, etc., in a constant manner, how they adjust with the external atmosphere or the external media like water. And in this class, we are going to discuss about the osmoregulation. Osmo means osmosis, regulation. Something is controlled. Osmosis is controlled here in order to maintain a constant internal environment or changing environment with the changing external environment. Accordingly, animals are grouped into two categories. The first one is osmoconformers. Osmoconformers and osmoregulators. As I told you, osmo meant for osmosis. Conformers and regulators. Osmoconformers and osmoregulators. Osmoconformers are the animals whose body fluid concentration changes according to the external media. Body fluid concentration means internal environment concentration, internal body fluid concentration changes with that of the changes in the external media, particularly in aquatic media, which is the water. If the concentration of the water varies or fluctuates, then the animal's body fluid concentration also fluctuate or adjust with that of the outer external media, that is the water concentration. If so, those animal which changes its body fluid concentration according to their external environment, then those animals are called osmoconformers. Conform, which conforms the external medial concentration and also which changes its body fluid concentration according to the external body fluid external media. So they are called conformers, osmoconformers. Another one is osmoregulators, which are the animals maintain a constant internal body fluid concentration, which maintain constant internal body fluid concentration irrespective of the changes in the external media. That means they regulate the body fluid concentration in a constant way. They control the body fluid concentration in one particular concentration, even there is a fluctuation in the external body fluid concentration, just like the body temperature. Some of the animals maintain a constant body temperature, like human beings maintain a constant body temperature irrespective of the temperature in the outer external environment. Likewise, the body fluid concentration is maintained in a constant manner by some of the animals, and those animals are called osmoregulators. In osmoconformers, on the basis of tolerance level to the salinity, how which tolerate the fluctuation in the salinity of the external media, on that basis, level of tolerance, on the basis, animals are again of two types. One is stenohaline, another one is euryhaline. Stenohaline are the animals which cannot tolerate even a small amount of changes in the salinity of the external media. Whereas euryhaline are the animals which can tolerate wide range of changes in the salinity. Clear? Stenohaline are the osmoconformers, but which cannot tolerate a changes in the small changes in the salinity of the external media, which cannot survive even in the small changes in the external water, the external media. But urealin are also osmoconformers, but which can tolerate wide range of changes in the salinity. If there is a change in the salinity of the external media, that is water, which can withstand with that changes, and those group of animals are called urehalin. Let us go with one example for each. There is a marine crab called Maya, a marine crab which lives in sea water. Let us consider this as a marine crab, and that is Maya, and this is the media sea water. As we studied in the previous classes, we know the movement of the water molecules from which region to which region. The movement is from the less concentrated solution into the more concentrated solution, right? Here the body concentration initially, in a natural way, the body concentration of the osmoconformers are changing according to the external media. That means if for say the seawater concentration is 100% for say, then the crab also maintain 100% of the concentration, or 80%. That means simply we can say they are the body fluid. This is the body fluid of the marine crab and the external media. They are isotonic. Isotonic in nature. That means the concentration of the external sea water and the concentration of the internal body fluid remains the same. Therefore, they are conformers which change. If there is change in the concentration of the sea water, there will be change in the concentration of the body fluid as well. Therefore, we call it as osmoconformers. But in case of this category, stenohalin, which cannot tolerate changes in the salinity. Let us see, in an experimental way, which was found that this in natural way they live happy, but when the sea water is diluted 2% dilution of the sea water in an experimental condition. If the sea water is diluted for say 2%, which means 98 parts of sea water, to which 2 part of distilled water will be added. In that case, this become 98% sea water. Then the animal also changes its body fluid concentration to 98%. Suppose if the sea water is taken to 90%, diluted with the 10 parts of distilled water, then this also goes with that change, that is 90%. Likewise, in the experimental condition, the sea water concentration is keep on diluted, and it was found that at 75% sea water, that means 75% of sea water, to which 25% of distilled water is added, then we can call it as 75% sea water. When the crab is kept in 75% sea water, there is a change in the osmotic concentration, right? Now, earlier both of them are isotonic in nature, body fluid as well as external sea water. Now, with the dilution of the sea water 75% of the sea water become hypotonic. When which is compared with the body fluid, which is hypertonic. right? Hypertonic body fluid, whereas 75% seawater become hypotonic to this body fluid. Therefore, osmosis take place between this environment. The osmosis, as we know, always take place. The water molecules move from the region of its higher concentration, which means water concentration is higher in hypotonic solution, right? Higher, therefore, water molecules are keep on entering into the body fluid of the animal. That we call it as endosmosis. Water keep on enter into the system, living creature. As a result, there will be increase of the body weight of the animal, marine crab. In order to overcome this particular crab excretes more amount of water from the system. During this elimination of the water, more and more salt also get eliminated. Along with the water, there will be chances of loss of salt. Therefore, if the dilution is more, there will be increased endosmosis process. Increased endosmosis process increase the body weight, or the internal water content will be high. The increased water content will be eliminated out of the animal, during which excess of the salt also lost. Therefore, due to the decreased salt concentration in this particular animal, which cannot perform vital metabolic activities, and this particular animal dies off. In an experimental field, it was known at 18 hours when the animal is kept, the marine crab is kept in 75% seawater, the animal dies within 18 hours due to the continuous endosmosis process. That means at least 25% of the changes cannot be tolerated by this animal, which cannot tolerate the changes. The slight 25% of the changes in the concentration of the external media cannot be tolerated, cannot be withstood by this animal. Therefore, they are stenohalin animal. The similar way, euryhalin, there is a peanut worm, a marine worm known as Phascolosoma. A marine worm, peanut worm, which is known as Phascolosoma. Once again, the external media is seawater. In a natural way, the Phascolosoma lives in seawater, become osmoconformance, which means this particular Phascolosoma conforms with the external environment and maintain its same body fluid concentration. The body fluid concentration and the seawater concentration remains the same. That means similar to this, here also isotonic solution, here also isotonic. That means the concentration of body fluid as well as external seawater remains the same. But in an external experimental way, which was found that if the seawater is diluted to 50%, just like this, up to 50% the dilution was done. That means 50 parts of seawater to which 50 parts of distilled water is added, then this becomes 50% of seawater. When the Phascolosoma worm is kept in 50% seawater, the concentration difference will be there. That means the seawater become hypotonic. Earlier, both of the systems are having same concentration, isotonic and isotonic. But now after the dilution, this become hypotonic and the body fluid become hypertonic. Therefore, the movement of the water molecules from the less concentrated solution, that is the seawater, into the high concentrated solution, that is into the body fluid, take place. And the process is endosmosis. Right? Endosmosis take place. Due to the continuous endosmosis, here the animal increases its volume by 23%. The body weight of the animal increases by 23%. Like here, the marine crab cannot increase its body weight. Due to its external morphological features, the volume cannot be expanded, therefore, which dies off within 18 hours. But the worm can expand its body weight up to 23% when which is kept in 50% seawater. And due to the endosmosis, body weight increased up to 23%, animal can survive. Once again, if the dilution is made to 60%, that means seawater is added some more and the salt concentration increases here. And in such case, earlier it was kept in 50% seawater and there will be endosmosis process and the animal increases its body weights by 23%. When the same animal after the endosmosis kept in 60% seawater, then what will happen? This become hypotonic solution, right? This become hypotonic solution, whereas this 60% solution become hypertonic. Clear? The same animal is kept in the natural form which lives in the seawater, then both of the body fluid and the external media is similar, isotonic. In an experimental condition, when the animal is kept at 50% seawater, then 50% seawater become hypotonic, whereas the body fluid is hypertonic. After the endosmosis is over, but that means 23% of the body mass, the weight is increased, the same animal is transferred to another media which is having 60% of seawater, 60% seawater. In that case, the 60% of seawater become hypertonic to this. Therefore, here water moves from less concentrated into high concentrated, that is 60% of the seawater. That we call it as exosmosis. Due to the exosmosis process, the body weight reduces or decreases off. This is how animals can change their body fluid concentration according to their external media. But some of the animals can tolerate wide range of, like 50% of the dilution can be tolerated by this animal, Phascolosoma, and those kind of animals are called euryhaline. And some of the animals cannot tolerate even 25%, not even 25%, they cannot tolerate, and those are called stenohaline, and these two types are the osmoconformers. Osmoregulators are the animals like amoeba. Amoeba can maintain a constant internal body temperature. See, amoeba, which is fresh water, which lives in a fresh water. The fresh water is the hypotonic solution, whereas the body fluid of the or cells is hypertonic. In that case, water continuously moves from the fresh water into the amoeba body. Then, due to the endosmosis, more and more water get enter into the system. This more amount of water will not be retained in the system itself. In case of amoeba, that is osmoregulator, therefore the contractile vacuoles which are formed and take away the excess of the water which get into the system due to the endosmosis process. That is how the amoeba maintain a constant body fluid concentration irrespective of the changes in the external media. This is about the osmoregulation, and coming up we will discuss about the osmoregulation in case of marine and freshwater forms like the shark, teleosts, and the terrestrial forms as well, that is kangaroo rat and the camel. Let us discuss osmoregulation in case of shark. As we know, shark lives in sea water, right? Marine ecosystem, where the salt concentration is more. And it is known that shark is osmoconformer. Osmoconformer. That means the animal can change its body fluid concentration with that of the changes in the external media. That is, here it is the sea water. The ecosystem is sea water. The sea water concentration and the body fluid concentration remains same. We can simplify it as here body fluid become isotonic to the sea water, or sea water is isotonic to the body fluid of the animal. How this is possible? This particular animal lives in sea water, and in order to maintain osmotic concentration same with that of the external media, that is sea water, which retain a large amount of urea in it. A large quantity of urea is retained in the body fluid, as well as trimethylamine N oxide. These two contents are present in a large quantity in the body fluid, as well as the sodium concentration of the blood. Sodium in the blood stream is about nearly half, that is 50% when which is compared with the sodium concentration in the sea water. Half of the sodium is present in the blood of the animal to the sodium concentration of the sea water. This makes the body fluid isotonic. This could be hypotonic and the external media could be hypertonic. But this particular animal, Elasmobranchi, that is cartilaginous fish, become osmoconformer by increasing the concentration of the urea and trimethylamine N oxide and the blood sodium level up to 50%, and all these make up the concentration and become isotonic. Thus, excess urea and trimethylamine N oxide will be retained in a high quantity initially from the reabsorption from the kidney. There will be a reabsorption take place in the kidney. More and more urea content will be reabsorbed and putting back into the bloodstream. Thereby the urea as well as trimethyl N oxide content are increasing. And thus sodium is maintained up to half of the content that of the seawater from the seafood. Animal engulf food which is present in the seawater, along with this the sodium get enter into the system, therefore which can maintain sodium as well. And one more thing, unlike the other marine fishes and freshwater fishes, in the gill region, in the gills, there are specialized cells known as chloride cells. And these chloride cells are absent in case of shark. The function of the chloride cell is to eliminate excess of the sodium. But in order to maintain large quantity of the sodium, this particular animal is devoid of chloride cells in the gill region. Therefore, increased amount of urea along with the trimethylamine N oxide and the sodium in the bloodstream, which make the animal and which increase the concentration of the body fluid and come to the nearly similar to the concentration of the sea water. Thereby this particular animal lives good in the sea water. Suppose if the urea concentration is less, this urea concentration is 500 times much higher than any other terrestrial mammalian system, mammals. Compared to mammalian system, terrestrial mammalian system, in the mammalian system, the portion of the urea present is, here it is 500 times much more than the mammalian system. If same amount of the urea is present as that of the shark in other animals, the animal cannot withstand that huge amount of urea. Similar way, if the urea content is lesser, going down in this particular animal, the metabolic system will be collapsed. Animal cannot withstand the huge urea quantity. Only the metabolic activities are normal. Otherwise, the animal will be dead. This is about the osmoregulation in case of shark. Now, let us discuss the osmoregulation in case of freshwater teleosts, that means freshwater bony fishes. When the moment we say freshwater, that is the media where this particular animal lives, and the body fluid of the animal, the concentration between the osmotic concentration varies. The osmotic concentration of the body fluid is much higher than the osmotic concentration of the fresh water. That means we can say body fluid is hypertonic and the fresh water become hypotonic. Right? Hypotonic and hypertonic, two distinguishing regions. Therefore, as we know, the osmosis take place in which the water molecules move from the lesser concentrated region to the more concentrated region. The animal is entirely covered up with the scales, but through the food and drinking of water, the water molecules enter into the body fluid. Directly say like this, the water molecule move from the less concentrated solution into the more concentrated solution, and that we call it as the entering of the water molecule into the body system. This is endosmosis. Endosmosis take place continuously in a natural form, continuously. Every day, every minute there will be endosmosis taking place due to the concentration gradient, like hypotonic solution outside the media in the body, which is hypotonic. So, excess of the water get into the system. This excess of water will be eliminated by the activity of the kidney. The excess of water is removed by the activity of kidney tubules. The kidney eliminate excess of the water in the form of urine. This is one process. So, there will be an endosmosis. Endosmosis increase the water level in the water volume in the body fluid, and that must be eliminated. The increased water entry must be eliminated, during which kidney tubules get activated and excess of the water get eliminated in the form of urine. But the problem is, along with the urine, there will be elimination of the salts as well. The essential required amount of salts also get eliminated out along with the urine. This is important. In order to balance this salt loss, animal engulf food. Any plant system or small other animal creatures get eaten by this animal, through which some amount of the salt is substituted or compensated by this media. And in the gill region, there are specialized cells in the gill. There are cells known as chloride cells. This particular chloride cells are absent in case of the chloride secretory cells are absent in case of shark. The chloride cells are present in the gill region. In the water, while respiring, the water enters from the mouth and some amount of the water exit out through this gill slits. In that, the chloride ions will be absorbed by the cells and which will be given into the bloodstream. That is how this maintains the salt concentration. In freshwater bony fishes, the body fluid is hypotonic when which is compared with the freshwater, that become the hypotonic. Therefore, the water moves from the lesser concentrated region to the higher concentrated region, that means outer environment into the inner environment. More and more water enter into the system, that will be eliminated by the activity of the kidney, during which essential salts also get eliminated. This is compensated by drinking of the water as well as engulfing the food, in which salt will be absorbed. In the intestine region, salt will be absorbed. Similar way, in the gill, there are cells called chloride cells which absorb the salt and make up the loss. This is how this particular animal regulates its osmotic concentration of the body fluid and survive well. The similar topic, that is osmoregulation, now in case of marine bony fishes, marine telosts. In a marine, the media become hypertonic, right? Hypertonic. That is the marine water, sea water, hypertonic. Thus the body fluid is hypotonic. The concentration of the body fluid when which is compared with the concentration of the sea water which differs, and therefore body fluid is hypotonic when which is compared with the concentration of the sea water which become hypertonic. And as we know, the osmosis take place. Now in this case, water move from the less concentrated solution into the more concentrated solution. That means water exits out of the system. Water is eliminated, and this process is known as exosmosis. Exosmosis take place, loss of water take place. In order to compensate that loss of water which has happened during exosmosis process, this particular marine animals drink more and more water. Drink more and more water. Continuously there will be drinking of water in order to compensate the loss of water. This animal drinks what 50 to 200 ml of water per kg of animal. Per kg of animal, for 1 kg of animal size weight, 50 to 200 ml of water is drunken continuously. Which compensate the water loss. Water loss is compensated. But since the external media containing, the external environment containing sea water, that means sea water having more amount of salt in it. Salt amount also present. Along with the water, the animal also engulf more and more amount of dissolved salt. So if more amount of the salt become lethal to this, dangerous to this particular animal. Therefore, the kidney tubules which present here in the animal get activated, and which initially reabsorbs. Kidneys are involving in the excretion process which excrete urine, right? In which the kidney tubules there will be more reabsorption of water. Water reabsorption will be more in order to compensate the loss of water during the exosmosis. Initially, which engulf more and more water, drink more and more water, somehow which can balance with that, and in the kidney tubules more amount of the water also reabsorbed. Here the absorption take place in the intestine, and here reabsorption take place in the kidney tubules, during which in the urine there will be high amount of salt, because if the increased salt retained in the animal, which will be dangerous to the animal. Therefore, salt will be higher in the urine and water is lesser. Therefore, this becomes concentrated urine. Urine is concentric form, highly concentrated with the salt. The sea water is hypertonic and the animal body fluid is hypotonic. Therefore, from this region to the outer side water exits. Therefore, physiologically this animal is dehydrated, even which is in the water. Exosmosis take place, more and more water is eliminated. Due to compensate that water loss, animal continuously drink water. In the water, along with the water, dissolved salt also get into the system. This dissolved salt cannot be retained in the body. Therefore, along with the urine, more amount of the salt will be eliminated. And one more thing, in the gill there are specialized cells called chloride secretory cells, and these cells eliminate the monovalent ions like sodium and potassium, whereas in the urine the divalent ion like calcium and magnesium are eliminated. Therefore, urine become highly concentrated, and in the kidney tubules there will be reabsorption of the water take place, which compensate the loss of the water. Therefore, animal can thrive well in the even in the sea water with this osmotic regulation. Similar to the aquatic animals, in the terrestrial animals also there will be loss of water take place. Therefore, the animal must take care of the water loss and the maintenance of the osmotic concentration in the body fluid. Let us discuss the osmotic regulation or osmoregulation in case of terrestrial or desert animal, that is camel. In the desert there will be a scarcity for water, and therefore animal has to conserve its water whichever required for the metabolic activities. Initially, the body fluid water, the water present in the body fluid is lost through the urine. The more amount of water, more means compared to others elimination, excretion, more amount of the water is eliminated out of the urine, and in a small quantity in the fecal content, that is indigested food will be eliminated. In the fecal content also some amount of the water get eliminated. Very negligible, that is there is a physiological condition, sweating is restricted in this particular animal up to certain temperature, some amount of the water is lost along with the sweat, and in case of female animals there is loss of water through the milk as well. This loss will be compensated by the animal by adopting some of the physiological and behavioral changes. Let us discuss one by one. First thing is the feeding habit. The camels feed on the green succulent plants. Succulent means which is having more content of water in the plant body. Succulent plants are fed by this animal. In this succulent plant there will be huge amount of water present that will be absorbed by the intestine system or the digestive system, and thereby which compensate a small portion of the water. And utilization of the metabolic water. What is this metabolic water? As we know, there is a hump in the camel, and it is wrongly understood that in the hump there is a storage of water present, but it is not true. In the hump there is a fat content, fat storage will be there. Thus, during the starvation time, this stored fat is metabolized in order to obtain energy, during which there will be formation of water as a byproduct. Thus, water we call it as metabolic water. A byproduct of water happening during the metabolism of the fat, and that is also utilized by this animal, that is metabolic water. And another behavior is this particular animal, a huge animal, can drink 1/3 of the water of body weight to 1/3 of its body weight, up to that which can drink its water. Up to that means when the body, according to the body weight, which can drink this much huge quantity of water, and which is stored in, not in the hump, which is stored in the stomach. There will be chambers number of chambers, about 10 chambers present in the stomach, where in the diverticulum of the chamber there will be storage of the water take place, and periodically slowly the water will be engulfed to the digestive system internally, and that is how which compensate water loss. And one more thing is, in the drinking season, per drinking session, and one drink at one go, which can drink up to 46 liters, within 10 minutes of time. Then 10 minutes which can drink 46 liter of water at one go, one single drinking. This is also helpful to maintain the water concentration within the body. And during the winter season, this particular animal can remain without drinking up to months, 8 days to months together, which do not drink of only during the winter season. During the winter season, there will be a drastic downfall in the temperature, desert temperature will be less. Therefore, during the winter, up to 8 months together, which will not go for drinking. That is another thing. And there will be reabsorption take place both in the large intestine and in the kidney tubules. The reabsorption of the water take place in the large intestine, which reduce the elimination of the water along with the feces, and therefore the fecal contents are dry. Fecal content is dry. With very limited quantity of water, feces will be excreted. The kidney tubules reabsorb more and more water, therefore the urine is concentrated urine will be eliminated. Similarly, the milk is also concentrated. There will be less amount of water present in the milk. And this particular animal possessing sweat glands, but the thing is, the sweat glands are activated and the sweat out. The sweating will be only if the temperature reaches, the external temperature reaches up in the ranging from 41 to 58 degrees centigrade. Only then there will be sweating. Otherwise, there will be no sweating. In that way also, the animal is conserving water. This conservation of the water maintain the osmotic concentration of the body fluid, and thereby the animal can survive well even in the desert condition where there is limited availability of water or seasonal availability of water there. Osmoregulation in case of kangaroo rat. In North American deserts, there is a rodent known as kangaroo rat. There are adaptations present in this kangaroo rat in order to maintain its osmotic concentration. In the blood of the kangaroo rat, there is 66% of water content present. The kangaroo rat do not drink water. They do not drink water at all. Then how can they balance the loss of water? Let us study the loss of water first. Similar to the camel, the amount of water is lost in the urine and some more amount in the feces, and majorly the loss of water take place in kangaroo rat by the process called evaporation. Evaporation in the mouth lining and the respiratory tract, there will be continuous respiration process taking place, during which the surface of the respiratory tract and the buccal cavity is dried up, during which the evaporation of the water content take place, and in this way a huge amount of water is lost. Evaporation, later the urine, and through the feces water is lost, and thus lost water is compensated by having dry and moist food. The animals do not, as I told you earlier, do not drink water at all. Rather, they compensate water through the behavioral and physiological and feeding habit only. They feed on dry seeds of the various plants, and moist food, moist succulent plants will be the roots or the nodules of the roots will be fed by this animal and in the underground level itself, and thus compensate a small quantity of water to the animal. And the metabolic water, as I was discussing in the camel system, the metabolic water is the byproduct water which is given out during the metabolism of the fat, that is also utilized by this animal. And in the camel there are sweat glands, but they sweat only when the external temperature goes in the range of 41 to 58 degrees centigrade. But in the kangaroo rat, sweat glands are absent. This is one of the plus point for this particular animal. Therefore, there will be no water loss out of this sweating. And behaviorally, they remain in burrows. During the daytime, this particular animal remain within the burrows itself. They make tunnels in the sand, and which goes into the sand during the daytime, and which conceal the tunnel with the sand in order to retain the moist content within the burrows. So, during the daytime, which remain in the burrows and which avoid the hot sun, this behavior become positive for the animal in order to conserve water. Another behavior is they are nocturnal. That means they are active during night time. They go for feeding only night time, and once again this avoids the hot sun. This is also another behavioral thing which is seen in this particular animal. And whatever the water is obtained from the food or the metabolic water, and with some of the behavioral changes which conserve water in the body, and elimination will be there. Always there will be waste, nitrogenous waste elimination will be there. For that water is needed, but that the water elimination will be minimized by reabsorption. In the intestine and in the kidney tubules, there will be more amount of water is reabsorbed, and thereby this become the conservative mechanism for the animal to retain water. Therefore, with this particular animal excrete a concentrated urine and fecal content with very less quantity of water, and this we pellets of feces will be given. Thus, in this way animal can compensate the water loss by behavioral physiological manner, and the osmotic concentration will be regulated, and the animal can thrive well even in the desert environment.